What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So, if you can tell by the title of this video, oh my goodness, Washington Wizards overcome a 24-point deficit to beat the LA Clippers 125 to 118. And man, oh man, did it look like they were. It looked like they were gonna lose. I'm not even gonna lie. From the very beginning, it looked like they were gonna lose. I was like, damn. When the Clippers up was like 16-7, I was like, but I will say this game was entertaining to watch. Like I felt like this game was entertaining to watch from start to finish. Like if from tip, this game was entertaining, and I'm just like, whoa. So Gortat came back home to DC tonight to play for the first time here since he got traded, and man, ball blocked Gortat like a minute into the game, a minute into the game, and it was like the way he just like Gortat actually like faked and everything because he could feel him on his heels and he still blocked the hell out of him. Then Thomas Bryant blocked him twice. Speaking of Thomas Bryant, speaking of the team in general, so Coach Brooks finally switched up the starting lineup. Like finally switched up the starting lineup. He had Kelly Oubre at the 3, Otto Porter at the 4, and Thomas Bryant at the 5. He started in the center position tonight. I don't even think Jan Mahimi got 1 minute of play time. Like I freaking said, he couldn't be any worse than Jan Mahimi, y'all. I had already predicted this. I already asked this question. I already put this out there. Like, already put it out there. Like, put him at the starting position. And we got what we wanted, or our wish came true, whatever it was. Whatever it was, sorry, that happened, we got it, guys. Whoever wanted Thomas Bryant to start or get more minutes, he got it. One thing I didn't like, though, was that Troy Brown didn't get any minutes, and I'm like, well, dang, like, we're already losing by 20, might as well. Or we're already a 5-11 team, might as well. But the Washington Wizards won, and they improved to 6-11 on the season. You know what's hilarious? Like, somebody on Twitter's name was Wizards 5-12, like, at 8 o'clock before. It was like 7:45. We were losing, and they were like, "Let me just put my name to this." So we had a couple former Wizards in the house tonight, Mike Scott and also Marcin Gortat. Personally, a little bit, I did kind of want to see what's gonna happen. I want to see if the Clippers is gonna win, if they were gonna take this one all the way, go over the 24-point lead, because they seemed really happy and really excited they were beating us, and they got ahead of themselves because the Wizards came back in the second half and they took over. The Clippers scored 40 points in the first half just for the Wizards to make sure they only scored 45 points. Like first 40 points in the first half or the first quarter, I can't remember. But just for the Wizards to make sure that they only scored 40 points in the first quarter. Just for the Wizards to make sure they only scored 45 in the whole second half. Outscored them, went crazy. They had like 18 turnovers, 19 turnovers, 20 turnovers. I don't think it's in the fourth quarter, but definitely in the second half. And so that contributed a lot to the Wizards' win, was the fact that they had all those turnovers. We didn't get to see much of Thomas Bryant really tonight because he didn't play that many minutes. He only played like 19 minutes. He only played 19 minutes. But in his 19 minutes on the floor, he managed to score 7 points. He could have been 8, but he missed his free throw. He had an assist. He had 3 rebounds, and he also had 2 blocks. So that was really good. I'm not sure if this is his first career start, but it might have been his first career start. Kelly Oubre only played 12 minutes, and he had 3 points, 1 rebound, and he ended up having to sit with 5 fouls after 12 minutes. But I don't really like him in the starting lineup, and I've said that before. I really like the energy he comes off the bench with in the starting lineup. To me, he has too much time to make mistakes. I don't know, and like he needs to sit and watch the game and get a feel for things, and then come out. And then I like how he plays off the bench, but I don't necessarily like him as a starter. Personally, that's my personal opinion. Um, So the LA Clippers lost, but they did play a great game, starting with Tobias Harris, who ended up with 29 points in 37 minutes. He also had 9 rebounds, so he almost had a double double, 1 assist. And you can't forget about Sweet Lou Williams, who came and had 17 points off the bench in 23 minutes, 3 assists and 2 rebounds. And for a second there, he looked unstoppable. Like he really looked unstoppable. Like they weren't gonna be able to control him at all. But the Wizards buckled down, guys. They buckled down and they tightened up their defense and they started playing good team basketball in the second half, especially, and reminded themselves of their potential, reminded the fans of their potential. Like people were booing them. The crowd was booing them, and then by the second half, the crowd was so into the game. Like they were cheering them on so much, and they were playing team basketball, guys. They were playing defense. They were playing hard nosed defense. And I mean, yeah, there were a couple mistakes here and there, but they were actually playing together as a team and playing defense, which is something that we've wanted to see from them all season, and we finally freaking got it. Like, so happy about that. The Wizards pulled out this win, and they showed a lot of fight. They showed a lot of heart. They showed the reason why they were one of the best teams in the East in 2017. Why they made it to Game 7. Why people had so much hopes and expectations for them last year. They showed all that stuff with how they played tonight, and they fought back really, really, really hard. I mean, they should never been down 20 anyway, but they fought back really, really hard, and I'm proud of them. I'm really, really proud of them. Avery Bradley, 4 points. So Tobias Harris was pretty much unstoppable. Like he was unguardable. They had whole people on him. They had Otto Porter on him. Don't mind my sister sleeping in the background, but they had Otto Porter on him, and then they freaking had Kelly Oubre on him, and then worst, they had John Wall on him for God knows what reason, and he was just like taking the mismatch and just scoring each time, and they had Bradley Beal on Danilo Gallinari, which was not smart at all because look at the height difference. Like I said, mismatch, boom, scoring every time. One person I did, Montrezl Harrell had 20 points and 9 rebounds. He was really good for them, like especially defensively, especially under the basket. Boban was not as good for them as he sometimes can be every now and again. Mike Scott only had 9 points, but he was decent. Tyrone Wallace, he literally had a head-on collision with Bradley Beal, like literally head-on to the point where it was blood, like blood all over that towel, and Bradley Beal had blood coming down the side of his face from like right under his eyebrow. And yeah, one person I did want to highlight is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the rookie, had 17 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds in 29 minutes. I really liked his play. He's definitely having a good night tonight. I don't really know how he plays regularly, but I know that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was somebody I had my eye on, and a lot of Wizards fans had their eye on for us to draft this year, and we did not, but he's getting a lot of good use and burn over there in LA with the Clippers and playing really well. So on to the Washington Wizards. I do, of course, want to highlight our House of Guards because they really have been trashed lately as far as their defense and how they've been handling certain things. But John Wall and Bradley Beal both played 41 minutes tonight. John Wall with 30 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds, and Bradley Beal with 27 points, 7 assists, which is good, and 3 rebounds. And they really, really, really helped push the Wizards to a win tonight. They held it down for us. They played like they should have. They played like all stars, and they definitely proved why. I mean, they definitely showed, like, of course, why they're in this league and why they're some of the top players in the Western Conference and why they made, all star appearances these last few years. So it was good to see them come together and play defense and play hard and get points and get buckets in all the right moments and just really do what they needed to do. I already talked about Kelly Oubre only had 3 points. Otto Porter played for 38 minutes. He only had 11 points, but he had 14 rebounds, 2 assists, and he played some defense. Markieff Morris came off the bench tonight, and um he scored 12 points and a couple timely buckets, very timely buckets, and I'll give him that. Like he's not his usual stuff yet, but he's definitely not worthless and slow of foot. So that's what matters. Like he's showing some improvement. Maybe this whole him come off the bench thing kind of like put a little fear in him. I think he needs like 3 more games come off the bench, and then we can put it back in the starting lineup. Like, it should not be immediate. He played for 25 minutes. He had 5 assists and he had 2 assists and 5 rebounds. Austin Rivers, he played like trash against his old team. He only had 2 points, 1 assist. Horrible. Thomas Satoransky, Coach Scott Brooks said he's gonna start trying to find minutes for him. He's like, it's official. I cannot like leave him out the rotation no more. Like, I need to find minutes for him. Duh, you been needed to find minutes for him. Austin Rivers been proved he was trash after the first 7 games. Scott Brooks like, oh, it took me 16 games, but I finally realized that I should get some minutes for him. Like, he has to get minutes. He has to get minutes. Duh, he should have been got minutes, dummy. But yeah, y'all, excuse my language, y'all. But I'm not calling him no dummy, but I'm just saying dummy. But it takes a dummy to really feel like Austin Rivers is about to do something. So anybody who believes in Austin Rivers, I'll just leave that where that is. Respect to you if you believe in Austin Rivers. Respect to Coach Brooks if you believe in Austin Rivers. But Austin Rivers is just not it for me. Sorry, honey. And then last but certainly not least, and certainly never will be least, Jeff Green had 20 points off the bench. And man, was he big for us tonight. 3 assists and 7 rebounds. He was out there. He was moving. He was shaking. He was scoring points. He was getting rebounds. He was getting assists. He was getting shots off whenever he needed them. Like, man, he was doing everything. He was defensive. He was offensive. He was amazing. He was amazing. No, I'm joking. But he was great, guys. Excuse all my rest of my comments. You know, I don't like calling people names on my videos and stuff. So excuse me for that. But, yeah, man, the Washington Wizards got this win out tonight, and we totally, definitely needed this one. Excuse me, guys, for all my ramblings. I'm really tired, but we had to shake something up because keeping the lineup the way that it was not working. Although this lineup that we put together with Wall, Beal, Bryant, Oubre, and Porter, it was kind of getting beat defensively. I was just glad that we shook some stuff up and let people know like we're serious and let people know Scott Brooks is serious and he's not just all talk. Like, he's about to like take your starting spot away if you're messing up. So tighten up. You hoes better tighten up, in the words of the city girls. So peace, guys.